Hello, everybody. I am Monica, and I'm really happy to be talking to you guys today about back to school basics with essential oils. So currently in Canada, we are after, let's see, I think we're a week and a half, 2 weeks into the school year. I know some places in the States have already started like last month. So depending on where you are in the world, maybe this is just a bit after back to school, maybe it's before back to school. So or if you're watching this far in the future, maybe you'll be watching this next year and you'll be able to see this webinar on the back to school basics. So tonight I am going to be talking to you guys about different aspects that different ways we can support our children through the process of school. So things that they may be requiring, whether that's sleep support or calming during testing times, or just anxious feelings that will typically come about when children start school. Things like immune support. We're going to talk about focus and memory. We're going to go into energy, emotional support, as well as tips and tricks on ways that you can help use the oils for your children when they are going to school or in school. So to start, let's chat a little bit about sleep and calming. So the top oils that you want to use for this type of support, the main one being lavender. So lavender is one that is just a basic, and everybody should be having this. It's considered the Swiss Army knife when it comes to essential oils. Lavender has over 200 uses, and most people do understand as the most calming type oil. So while we all can turn to lavender for that reason, we are also all very different chemically. So whereas most people will find lavender works, some people may not find it as powerful than some other ones. So the top one being lavender. The other ones that we can chat about are serenity, balance, vetiver, Roman chamomile, as well as frankincense, and a new one that just last week at doTERRA's convention they released, which is called blue tansy, and it's something that is close to Roman chamomile, so it's kind of like a cousin of Roman chamomile. Also really good when it comes to sleep and calming. So let's chat a little bit about sleep first. So what you want to do is you want to have your child pick from the oils. So when you first bring your oils home, or if you've had them for quite a while, give your children a chance to sniff each one of them and see which one they feel, or what they will tell you helps to make them feel supported with their sleep, or helps to make them feel calm. So let them choose. We are, again, all different, right? So different children will totally pick different oils that they prefer around sleep time, or something that will help to support calm feelings. So what you want to do is about an hour before bedtime, turn on their diffuser and put that oil in it. I like to have my kids actually play for an hour before bed. They'll play inside their room, and that's when I'll keep the diffuser going. And then about 20 minutes before bedtime, apply it to their feet. This can just be a simple drop and just rub it in a little bit. Or what we like to do in our home is we'll sit with our boys on their bed and we'll actually put one drop of vetiver on their big toe, and we'll give them a little foot massage. And maybe on the other foot, a little bit of lavender or serenity, sometimes balance. We'll let them pick. Often we do find that vetiver works really well on our children in helping that process of going to sleep. So we give them a little foot rub, and during that time, it's just a chance to connect, see how their day was, ask them what their favorite part of the day was, and we also do a little bit of a gratitude kind of activity, so what they're most grateful for. And that really helps, again, to bring that just having that routine and bringing calming around the bedtime routine is really, really helpful. What we used to do when they were kind of afraid of monsters under the bed is we would use a spray and we'd put it on their bed, on their pillow, or on their linens just at bedtime. So it was their, monsters go away spray, which we just take a 2 or 4 ounce glass bottle, fill it with some distilled water and maybe 5 or 10 drops of lavender, and we would just spray that. And again, lavender being calming, but also in their own heads, they were thinking that it was going to scare away any evil monsters, which is always good for children who have that issue. Also, an hour before bed, try not to have any digital devices with your children, because it really distracts their brain and it kind of keeps their brain moving and awake, especially the light from things like televisions or tablets or phones. So if you can cut digital devices an hour before bed, that will also help with their bodies just naturally getting into that sleep pattern. And same for you as an adult. I don't know if you're told this very often, but cut those television, programs before bed, at least an hour before. And also no food before bed between 2 and 3 hours before. So we always stop ourselves around 7, and for our children, shortly after we've had a meal, or around 6:30 is when they'll stop to eat as well. Only because our bodies naturally will go into a healing mode at bedtime. That's when our bodies heal themselves. Usually between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is when our body is actually healing and allowing, our nails and our hair to grow. So it's really important that we have that time to do that. If we have a full tummy, then our body is not focused on healing. It's focused on digesting the food before it can do anything else. So we do want to allow our tummies to finish that digestive process in order for our bodies to kind of do what they need to do while we sleep. When it comes to calming, some techniques that are really great for kids is something like a scent tent. So that would be when you cup your hands together and then just raise it to their nose and then breathe in really slowly and deeply. And we do that about 5 times. So if there is something that is a bit, making them have those anxious type feelings, whether it's a test or maybe it's the first day back at school after a summer or after a break, or maybe they're having some trouble with friends, whatever that may be, a scent tent, that works amazingly well. Just put 1 drop on their hands and then again, just cup and inhale slowly and deeply 5 slow times. They can also do a calming meditation with their oils. So that would just be, sitting in peace and quiet, maybe playing a little piece of music and maybe asking them to repeat something. So perhaps they're having trouble with their self-confidence. Then they can sit and just inhale the oil using the scent tent routine while sitting down peacefully listening to music and repeating in their heads, I have a lot of friends, or I make friends easily and effortlessly, or whatever it might be that they're struggling with, or, I'm going to do really well on my test tomorrow. Whatever it is that will make them feel at peace, try using the oils in that moment as well. And again, I'm going to mention this a few times in this webinar because I think it's really, really important, but have them pick the oil that makes them feel calm. And then also allow them to keep their oil on them at school. So I know there are some schools that are more strict on scent policies. Now, our oils are aromas. They're not scents. They're not fragrances. For example, wild orange, it comes from an orange peel. So if a child is actually peeling an orange in school, that smell of the orange is just the oil that you're smelling. You're not smelling the actual orange juice or the orange itself. You're smelling that essential oil. So these aren't scents. They are aromas that come from natural places. However, some areas are more strict on that. But even if they can just keep a small sample vial of their calming oil with them, they know that they can go to their backpack and just grab that oil and again, just place it on their hands and smell it from there, or even if they need to smell it through the bottle itself, whatever it is that will help them to remain calm, allow them to do that because it's really a helpful tool for them to have. So now let's get into a bit of immune support. So for those of you who don't know, 75% of our immunity comes from our gut. So that is our intestinal tract. That is where most of our immunity comes from. So I'm going to skip through the slide to the bottom there. PB Assist Junior, that equals happy bacteria. If you guys have not ever tried PB Assist Junior, it is like a pixie stick. It just tastes like sugar and it is amazing. But what it really is xylitol, which is a naturally occurring sweetener that has 0 sugary effects on our brains or on our bodies. It does not spike our levels or anything like that. It is an amazing sweetener, and it actually helps the teeth as well. It helps to prevent sugar from sticking to the teeth and preventing cavities, so you'll find it a lot in toothpaste nowadays, but it is also in PB Assist Junior. That makes it taste amazing, but the PB Assist Junior is full of amazing little guys, little probiotics that are going to be happy in your gut and will help support your gut. And when your immunity is coming from your gut, you need it to be its happiest in order for your immunity to be supported. So On Guard is our immune blend, doTERRA's immunity blend, and diffusing this will keep threats at bay. And they actually, you know, even if they're in the air, On Guard takes care of all of that. So if you are a teacher and you're watching this, having On Guard in classes, and again, I know that sometimes you're not allowed to diffuse it while class is going on, but having it after class is over to help keep those threats at bay, or even before class starts, just to release the On Guard into the air. Or if you're at home, you want to diffuse this as well, especially during those cooler winter months or fall months when, you know, everything's coming into the house. You want to make sure that you're diffusing On Guard. And also do that at night, because that will allow your body and your children's body systems to take that On Guard and help to increase that immune support, as well as using the On Guard foaming soap and cleaner. So doTERRA has both of those things available. If you have your soap dispenser at home, you can use that and just buy the On Guard cleaner and just put it in there, and that will just, again, it helps to, when you're washing your hands, to clean them really well and just give that added support for your immunity. DDR Prime is a oil as well as a supplement, and it is something that I do not think enough people know about. So for those people who are, or children who are able to swallow things, so swallow supplements, we're talking older children, teenagers, this DDR Prime supports healthy cell duplication. So it is an amazing oil. I take it internally every single morning. And you can also, if you have younger children, you can use it in a roller bottle, because it does come also in an oil, and just use the roller bottle on the bottom of their feet before they head off to school. Again, really healthy cell duplication. This is a great, great oil to help with children who are growing, and also just to help for us everyday life, right? Like, we think of a car, when it gets older, it becomes oxidized. So what we are looking for is, we want our bodies to not oxidize. So we're like, that's where the word antioxidant comes from. It does not allow things to oxidize. So DDR Prime is one of those things that will really help with healthy cells. Now, On Guard, I heard this in another webinar I watched a few weeks ago, is a woman was using On Guard in her child's hair when she went to school. So she was almost acting as her own diffuser. So having that On Guard in her hair made her smell really good. Her friends loved smelling her hair when she came to school, because it would really just kind of like increase their mood, I suppose. But for her daughter, it was helping her with her immunity. And also sending the On Guard Touch Roller bottle. So that one is already pre-diluted. It's safe for babies and children. And having your children bring that to school with them. So maybe when they come in from recess, they can roll it a little bit on their hands, or put it on their own feet, or, you know, just rub it on their own spine. And again, that just gives that little boost of immune support. And also every day using the On Guard toothpaste. As I mentioned earlier, xylitol is found in a lot of toothpastes. Well, the On Guard toothpaste has xylitol in it as well. So, so good, so good. My dental hygienist even noticed the difference in my teeth when I had been using it. I had started, and after about 3 months, she saw me and she was like, "What are you using in your home care routine?" And I told her, so she's now also using On Guard toothpaste. As well as the throat drops, they're really great if you have any issues there. If you're waking up and things are feeling a bit scratchy, pop one of those. My kids will have one too, and it has the dose of On Guard in it as well, so it's really helpful for those types of things. Now, here's a little side note on immune support that does not have to do with oils, but I really feel like it's important because all of these things work together. So I wanted to throw this in there. The diet, your diet is key when it comes to immunity as well as behavior issues. Now, just understand it's not your fault because sugar really truly is in everything. No matter how healthy we're trying to eat, you can find it all over the place, even if you feel like you're eating like a really healthy breakfast. For example, a typical children's breakfast with, you know, a cereal as well as, let's say, an orange juice and a fruit has, you know, 40 grams of sugar. And a lot of that sugar when it comes to the juices that they're drinking or the cereals, those are all processed, highly processed sugars. That is what's affecting our immunity and children's behavior issues. So take a look at what your kids are eating. Try and cut back as much as you can or eliminate it altogether. If you do see that there's a lot of sugar in your diet, then just start to cut back because I understand eliminating it completely is very hard, especially with children trying to get their, you know, their their taste of sugar in their mouth might be a little trickier. So just take it step by step, replace with maple syrup and with lots of fruits. You know, fruits have those natural sugars that are supportive of our bodies anyways. So lots of fruits, lots of veggies, and see if you can pull back that if you are finding a lot of immunity issues or behavior issues. Now let's chat a little bit about focus and memory. So the top oils to use for this would be Intune, rosemary, wild orange, lemon, lime, or grapefruit. And you'll see there, those are the citrus oils, the last four right there. So they're really great when it comes to focus, especially for uplifting moods, that sort of thing. I wanted to show you this on Intune because Intune, just from what I've seen through friends and different testimonials I've seen from so many people who have children who have a bit of a struggle or a difficulty paying attention and staying on task, Intune is life-changing. So if you have a child who is struggling a little bit and you want to enhance their sense of focus, or if they, you know, are having a bit of difficulty with paying attention, then try this. Just roll it behind their ears or roll it on their neck, like right at the base of their neck where their spine is kind of coming into their brain. That area right there kind of is like the base of the central nervous system where everything's kind of flowing through that area. Just rub a little bit of Intune just before they go to school. Allow them to have it with them if they need to as well, and they can roll it if they're feeling like they're getting very distracted during a class. That will really make a difference. So if you do have a membership, please write this one down on your wish list and add it to your next order. It is a great one. Also, by the way, for adults, my husband finds this very helpful when he often will struggle with focusing. So there's one for the adults too. So as I did mention, using the Intune on the back of the neck and the brainstem, then kind of rub it right in. If your child doesn't like the scent of Intune, you can always rub it on their feet and just pop a sock on them, and then the aroma won't bother them at all. Using rosemary will help sharpen clarity and also with memory recall. So let's say you have a child or a teenager maybe who's studying for a test or an exam. So have them use rosemary while they're actually studying, and then have them bring it with them to the test or the exam. Have them rub it into their hair, put a bit behind their ears, and while they're doing their test, it will allow for an easier memory recall, believe it or not, because they were studying with that aroma. So they were studying with it while that aroma was diffusing, or if it was on them, and now when they go to their test and have it with them again, it helps with that recall. I find this amazing. It's almost like cheating, but you're not, because it's just natural. How awesome is that? So cool. Also, so having them bring that, oh, well, I just said that, but anyways, having them bring the oil with them during the test to help with that recall, and diffusing any oil that will help them while they're studying. So if you feel like rosemary they don't really like, turn to something different. Turn to one of the other focused blends. So maybe a citrus oil they love, so something like wild orange. Have them diffuse that while they're studying, and then bring that one with them while they're at the exam or the test. Whatever one they feel like is better for them. So a little bit about energy. Usually by the end of the day, 2 or 3 o'clock, a lot of us and children hit the brick wall, or the kids are coming back from school. They're feeling really sluggish and tired from a long day. So diffusing those citrus oils, those are really what kind of brings on energy. So feelings of energy. Blending wild orange and peppermint, amazing. I can even attest to this for nighttime driving when we drive, to places on vacation and we're driving at straight 24 hours. I'll take over at 3 a.m. and I need my wild orange and peppermint. Those are the two that will keep me alert. I'm awake. They're amazing for helping to energize. So using that at homework time, after the kids are done, their day at school, diffuse that while they're sitting at the table and, catching up on their day, having a bit of a snack, have that diffusing. They can also just use peppermint, deeply inhaling it, either just from the bottle or again as a scent tent, or they can place it on the roof of their mouth if they're a bit older, because peppermint is quite minty, and that will help to energize. Now for emotional support. Lots of different emotions can come out of either going back to school or being in school. Maybe there's trouble with friends or whatever that might be, or there's a breakup if they're older teenagers. So the emotional aromatherapy kit is incredible for emotional support. And what it actually does is it activates the olfactory glands, which are just in our nasal passage. That's kind of what the passage is connected to the olfactory glands. And those glands will send a message to the limbic system, which then creates a response from the brain. Our limbic system is our emotional center, and it also holds and stores memories as well. So the oils are so impactful when you are inhaling the special aromatherapy oils that are meant for bringing on certain feelings. So if your child is struggling with a bit of sadness, or maybe they have, lower moods, perhaps they just got in a fight with a friend. So the emotional aromatherapy kit has 6 oils that are meant to help evoke certain feelings. So there's an oil called cheer. So again, low mood, you want to diffuse cheer. If they had a fight with a friend, there's an oil called forgive. So bringing on those feelings of forgiveness. There's another one called console. There's passion. There's motivate, and peace. Peace is a key one in my house. I have my younger child who has a lot of emotional ups and downs, and when I see that he's coming to a low area in his day, if he's feeling really frustrated, he tends to have temper tantrums more often, then I will grab Peace and he rolls it on the back of his neck, and that is his oil that he always turns to. So what you can do is you can use these oils to have discussions with your children, especially young children, about their feelings and about where they come from, and that it's okay to have feelings and it's okay to be angry, and dealing with the ways and techniques that they can go about to deal with their actual feelings, right? And again, as I said before, have them pick the oil that they are most drawn to. So maybe they are feeling in a low mood and you're thinking, oh, cheer, because cheer will bring on, happy feelings. Maybe they don't like that scent, or maybe they're just not attracted to that oil more than they are with another. So have them choose the one that is best for them and then start diffusing that one for their emotional support. Back to school jitters, obviously very, very common. So having that oil that keeps them calm and makes them feel calm, allow them to take that with them to school. Again, right in their backpack, in a little sample vial or a roller bottle, and they can then apply it throughout the day on the back of their neck. You can also go onto YouTube and look up the AromaTouch technique. We love to do the AromaTouch hand techniques. And just a gentle little massage on either their backs or their hands, just again to connect, sort of like I mentioned, that is a part of our routine at bedtime. Another really great thing to do with your children and to allow them to have that emotional support, and using the oils that they do like. And putting the oils in a diffuser necklace, that is one big way that I've seen a lot of my friends have had success with their children. So children who are feeling a little worrisome just before school starts, like within a week before, they'll give them a very special necklace that is a diffuser necklace, which means that it just has like a little felt pad on the inside of it, and you just drop 1 drop of the oil on that felt pad. And let's say they really love Serenity. So we'll put a drop of Serenity on that felt pad, and they can wear it for a few days before school starts. And then it's that special necklace they get to bring and wear with them at school. So they can just tuck it right underneath their shirt if they want to. And then when they're feeling a bit of worry, then they can just pull out their necklace and they just deeply inhale, just smell it. Nice deep breaths, and then that will evoke those senses of calm and peace within them. So that's one of the biggest tricks that I can say for especially students who do have very anxious feelings going into the new school year, or just in general starting, a new team or a sport or scouts or something like that. That is a really good tip that works really well with kids. And they have boy ones too. I know necklaces seems like a girly thing, but I've got 2 boys. My boys love their diffuser bracelets, so they're made with really pretty like wood beads, as well as a lava stone that holds the oil in it. So again, those things are really, really helpful tools for the kids to use. You can also give them a doTERRA keychain. So if you've never seen those before, I believe they're about $6 or $8. And then inside there's room for 8 little sample vials. So your children can pick which oils they really like. Perhaps there's one that will help with if they have digestive issues and they need digestive support, Digest Zen or ZenGest. that can go in their little keychain. You could put lavender in there for feelings of calm, peppermint and wild orange for uplifting and energizing. So anything that your children are really drawn to, you can put in their little keychain, and then that keychain goes right onto their backpack. Whenever they need their oils, they just unzip it and they can grab one of their little sample vials and either sniff it or apply it to where they feel like it's needed. Another one for older children or children who enjoy chewing gum or are allowed to chew gum in school. I know that's not a good thing, but during tests and exams for older kids, I know that that's something that is allowed. And the Slim and Sassy gum is really great to help keep them from distraction. So they can chew it and focus on their tests. And another huge one that is big in fall and spring is when those happy little lice bugs come around and attack all the schools and all the kids, and everybody's not sure what to do. So spraying a bit of water, so a spray bottle with water and maybe 10 or 15 drops of tea tree oil in about a 4-ounce bottle. Just shake that up and spray it on their hair before they head to school every day, because they do not like tea tree oil and they will stay far away from your child's head. So we have now come to the end of our webinar. So for those of you who do have a membership, how do you get the oils we just talked about? I hope you wrote up a list. If you did not, that's totally fine. I will, for those who are on live right now, I will be posting this video later on, so you'll be able to go through it again, write down those things on your wish list and put it on your monthly order or on a single order and grab your oils for your kids. For those of you who do not have a wholesale membership, we're going to go over that really quickly. So there are 3 different ways that doTERRA works. You can either buy retail, or you can get the wholesale pricing, which is 25% off the retail. And that is by purchasing a membership, just like Costco has their yearly memberships. doTERRA's membership is $42 Canadian, 35 American, and that is for your first year. And your second year, it's 30 Canadian or 25 American. And with that, you get a free bottle of peppermint, which has actually a greater value than that. So it's like getting your membership for free. If you want to purchase an enrollment kit, which is a bunch of the oils that they've put together and they've discounted them as like a bulk order, they then waive the membership fee as well. So for that first year, your membership fee is actually waived, so you don't have to pay for your membership. So that is the way most people go, because not only do you get a discount on all the oils you're purchasing, but you get your first membership year free. Can't go wrong, right? So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I hope that your children are having a great time back at school, or if you're watching this in the future, I hope that they have a really great start to their school year. So thanks so much, everybody, and have a great night.